You know what? Anxiety, you can just go fly a kite. So, who here has anxiety issues? Raise your hand. I do. I have had anxiety issues since I was a kid. I had really bad panic attacks in elementary school, to the point where my parents had to take me out and homeschool me. Which, when you're having panic attacks in public school in the 80s, it's not a good time. In fact, my pediatrician told my mother that it was all in my head and I was making it up for attention. That was fun. I think we've come a long way since then. We still have a long way to go. I still deal with anxiety, not to the point that I used to, thank God. But I still have anxiety because I'm an introvert. I do not like crowds. And so with the half marathon coming up, one of my biggest concerns is having a panic attack. And I use panic attack and anxiety attack interchangeably, but I know there is a difference between the two. I've had regular anxiety, but then I've had full-blown hyperventilation. My legs get they turn into jello and I can't stand. I get dizzy. It can get really bad. So yeah, I have this fear that when I do my half marathon, that's going to happen. There have been times in the past where I have been in big crowds and I thought I was going to have a panic attack and I didn't. So I'm trying to be hopeful and trying to just remind myself that it's not going to happen. You're going to be fine. I have music ready. I have podcasts ready to listen to for the 13.1 miles I'm going to walk. I'm still not sure what I was thinking. But yeah, if you have anxiety or if you've dealt with panic attacks, leave a comment. Let me know. What do you do? Is there any things that you do that help calm your nerves, help calm the panic attacks, that have helped anxiety go away? I can't even talk today. Yeah, anxiety is not a fun thing to have, and it's especially hard when you're a Christian, because for some reason people don't think anxiety is supposed to happen to Christians. And I don't think it helps for people to say, well, you haven't prayed enough and you haven't read the Bible enough, or you're not trusting God. I mean, these things, it doesn't help. It doesn't help, because some of the most faithful Christians in the world have had issues with anxiety and panic attacks. It's not some special thing that we are immune from. So, if you want to pray, you can pray that I do not have a panic attack during 13.1 miles. I'm having a low anxiety about the drive. I got a Airbnb outside of Pittsburgh so that I don't have to drive into the city. I can just take an Uber, because it's the Airbnb is 5 minutes outside of the city. But there's a part of me that's I would love to be able to just drive to a parking garage in Pittsburgh and park and not have to rely on Uber or Lyft or anything. Because the parking garage I would like to park at is only 5-6 minutes away from the Airbnb. But again, I have panic attacks and anxiety issues when I drive into the city. And it's funny because I've driven to Washington, D.C. by myself. I know I can do it. In fact, when I drove to D.C., I loved it. It was fun. It was exciting. So I don't know why sometimes I have panic attacks and other times I'm just fine, and this is just another day and no big deal. So I keep trying to remind myself of that. I keep trying to remind myself of my successes and how I have done crazy things before. I mean, when I was in India, I don't like heights. I hate heights. When I was in India, I rappelled off a 60-foot cliff. Seriously, I had a panic attack beforehand and I was in tears because I was I can't believe I'm doing this. But I loved it. I would go and do that again, and I don't like heights at all. So I have had so many times where I have overcome my fears and done things I never thought I was capable of. And I think that's one reason I'm doing this, is because I want to challenge myself. and I want to show myself that I can do it. I am not there to compete with the elite. I am not there to compete even with the other walkers. Like, I'm there to compete against myself and to show myself that I can do this, even if I'm, a fat girl walking. So I have 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks to go until the half marathon, and I have not been training like I should be. I was doing so good with the walking, I really was, and then I got sick and everything just went downhill after that. But I'm hoping this weekend it's gonna rain, but I'm still hoping to get out there and do something, because I have to. I don't want to be a couch potato for the next 2 weeks and then, oh yay, let's go walk 13.1 miles now in Pittsburgh. Just don't really want to do that. So anxiety stinks. It's not fun. If you're one of those people who has never had anxiety, never had a panic attack, first of all, count yourself very blessed. Second of all, don't tell people who have had panic attacks or anxiety to get over it. It's all in your head. You're imagining things. Don't tell them that they obviously have to pray more. For crying out loud, do not tell them they have a demon. Yes, I have heard Christians say, and I'm a big believer in the supernatural. I'm a big believer that demons exist. But when people say stupid stuff like, anxiety is demon possession, no joke, I've actually heard this from Christians. Come on, guys. Come on. How does that help anyone? It doesn't. So if you don't have anything encouraging to say, don't say anything at all. So that is my concern for the next 2 weeks, is having anxiety. But I know I can do this. I know I can do it, and I'm gonna have fun, and I'm going to walk 13 miles, and I'm 13.1, and I am going to kick butt, and I'm going to have fun doing it. So there. So leave a comment, hit like button, hit the subscription button. I have a lot more ramblings coming your way. And if you don't want to hear it, then you don't have to listen, but you're not getting rid of me.